right? So horizontal asymptote, it'll be what does the graph approach as x gets large to the right, x gets large to the left. Usually it's written like x approaches infinity, x approaches negative infinity, like that. But if you notice in the middle of the graph, I just said I think I got a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. But look at what's going on in the middle of the graph. It's clearly crossing the asymptote. That's okay, because by definition, it's the line the graph approaches when x is large, not when x is small, like in the middle of the graph. Right? That's not the same thing as a vertical asymptote. The graph never, ever touches the vertical asymptote. It cannot, because that would be a divide by 0 situation. Right? But the horizontal asymptote is not the same, and you will cross it sometimes. So that's just a difference between the two to get used to. There's also another, they use this terminology now. Since they changed the SOL, they talk about what they call end behavior. And the end behavior is basically, what's the function do when x is getting large? It's, in some sense, it's like saying, what's the horizontal asymptote? That's really what it's asking you when it says that. But we've seen in some of the practice problems that they've given us so far that they do tend to say, you know, what is the end behavior? And then they use that symbol right there, x goes to infinity or x goes to negative infinity. So end behavior is kind of close to saying horizontal asymptote.